Hey guys, and I'm going to do a simple review about When True Love's by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And this is my first book by her because she became really big last year by Evelyn, or she wrote like The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and so that's what drew me into this book, and I was really excited for it. All of her storylines kind of sound kind of boring, and her book covers are fine. They're very simple, but they're kind of boring. So I would have never picked these books up. Even if I had read the backs, I would have never picked them up. But I'm pleasantly surprised. This book, I've read 3 of them now, and this book I think I like the least. But I kept reading them because she's actually a pretty good romance writer, and she doesn't make me super angry. She doesn't do all the huge tropey things a lot of romance writers do. So this story follows Emma, Sam, and Jesse. Emma starts out as a young girl, and she meets a boy named Sam. She automatically disregards him because her sister says something about him, and she can't like what her sister likes. And then she just sees this boy from afar, and it's Jesse, and it's kind of an insta-love thing with Jesse. So her and Jesse grow up, they get married. This all happens really, really quickly in the beginning of the book, so I'm not giving anything away. They get married, and he dies. Or it's actually on the synopsis on the back. So he dies, and then what happens when he actually ends up surviving the accident, and she's kind of moved on and met another guy, and that's, you get the story of the book, One True Loves, that she has multiple true loves kind of a story. I didn't hate the story as I read the story, and I liked all 3 characters as I read the story. And the author flips it on its head, and I didn't see it coming. It was kind of nice because I didn't see that coming, but she makes a story about like who the girl wants to be rather than who she's more in love with, because she loves them kind of both equally in the end. But it seems, when you're choosing something in love, it seems very selfish to face it inward to me. I don't know. It becomes a very selfish moment. I liked it because it was a bit of a surprise, and I hadn't seen that before in a romance book. But at the same time, I didn't like it for the actual character. It became solely about herself and where she wants to head in life, rather than working on some sort of love with the other person. The one character I liked the most, I didn't love the main girl character the most, or her original husband, Jesse. The one character I liked the most was Sam. So you could guess which one I rooted for. But in the end, afterwards, after I had put down the book and completed it, the story was written well and smoothly, and I read it super fast. Like all of her books I can sit down and read in a morning, and I absolutely love that. And I absolutely love the way she tells the stories, and she writes smoothly, and her transitions are never harsh, and her sentence is great, and she makes you drawn into the characters, and I love her writing style. And she also doesn't do a whole lot of tropes in her stories. Like a lot of them are, it's always good girl, bad guy, or whatever, that kind of storyline. It's just normal people, everyday normal people. There's nothing great. They're not over wealthy, or there's not super beautiful looking, just kind of a lot of normal people. I like that as well. They're also believable romances. They aren't just thrown together because of a physical trait that they have that the other one likes or something, and they're not just pushed together over and over because of physical things. They're actually complementary romances. I really like it. I really like how she writes romance really well in that style, and which I think a lot of authors are missing when I read romance. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves in romance, and why I always go, I really like the story, it's not the best. It's because I feel like the characters don't go well together. But she did a really good job of meshing both of her When True Loves together, and I really liked that. But afterwards, this is my least favorite by her. I think I gave it the lowest score. I think it was a 3-star, and it made me angry. It felt like in some way she gave up on part of a love, and she didn't fight for it. And I know one way was more convenient for her in the end, but I didn't like it. I did not like the ending in the end. It made me angry, so I had to love it, rate her. It wasn't because it's a bad story or she's a bad writer or anything. It is my least favorite of her books, and I definitely recommend her books though. It's just this one, it just made me too mad. If you loved it, you can tell me about it. But there you go. There's my simple, quick review on it, and I will see you guys in the next one.